About a week ago, someone made the claim that the text messages Candace Owens shared on her show were faked. These were specifically the text messages between Charlie Kirk and her. Now, I never was one to say that they were specifically fake. I just think that the information that was brought out of them was completely useless. But to prove these people wrong, because it really wasn't a widespread thing that people were saying, but it did seem to be proliferated by a few accounts that were on Twitter that were kind of trying to call this out and say that some of the text bubbles didn't line up and some things like that. But once again, I didn't really care about it, and we'll go through it a little bit later. But the point is that she showed her phone screen on her stream, on her show that she did just a couple of days ago. And I want to kind of go over the video and just kind of see what exactly happened, what can we see from it, and go from there. But before we jump into this video, just a real quick reminder to like this video and to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. All right, so this is the video of her showing the text messages on her stream.
So guys, just to show you this, just looked it up on my phone. These are not made up text messages. You probably want to see the date here and see the time sliding. Hold on. We did not make up these messages, okay? Iron sharpens iron. It's not a dominance partnership. Each hand washes the other. It is what Christ talked about as true partnership, reliant yet separate. None other dominant. Of course, there is struggle, disagreement, but each side gets stronger and sharper because of the other. This is us describing our partnership. These are just real. Like, what an absolute nonsense to think that I would make up text messages. Like, it's just such a nonsense. I don't even know what would be the point of that. What would be the point of that? Okay. I was very clear at the beginning of this entire thing, no fakeness and no gayness. You know, I asked that if you didn't get along with Charlie, you don't think that you can just drop $1 million and then rewrite history. Okay. You might have money. We have truth. That's what's on our side.
All right. So first of all, I do have a couple of problems with this particular showing of these text messages, quote unquote, because the problem is you can't really see much of anything. Now, there were some screen grabs that people were able to get and enhance and show that the conversation generally looked like the ones that she pulled screenshots from. The problem I have is that there are no dates in any of this. Now, normally I wouldn't really care, but the thing is that if you recall from the last video I did talking about the CNN interview, Candace Owens was specifically saying that Tyler Robinson couldn't have been the killer or something else was wrong because the text messages that the FBI had presented as evidence was actually fake because they didn't have any timestamps. No dates. That's what she used. So I would think that we should hold her to the exact same standard that she holds everything else to, right? Why would we not do that? In addition to that, my thought is that if you're going to really show text messages, considering the fact that we have to keep in mind, Candace Owens is not sitting here editing these videos. She's not doing the setup. She's not putting up thumbnails. She's not doing anything but sitting down in a chair and reading off of a teleprompter. But the reality is that she has an entire production team, millions and millions of dollars that could go into, I would imagine, something as simple as setting up a camera that's top down so you could see on the phone very clearly instead of waving it around in the background and hoping that people are going to get a good idea of what was actually being said there. Because the thing is that is it impossible for these to be faked? Of course not. The reality is that all you need is another iPhone, which is very simple to do, and set up a profile picture, type in the messages that they said, do the exchanges properly, show it on screen and say that those were his messages. I don't think that they were fake, but the reality is that it's crazy to think that they wouldn't be fake. The only thing that would show that they weren't actually faked or that it wasn't from another phone or something else like that is if you actually showed the dates, right? I mean, am I crazy? Like, that's what she is trying to use as evidence to say that everything that's with all the, or fueling the conspiracies behind this whole Charlie Kirk situation. But the last point of this also is that I don't think that anything out of the text messages were mind blowing anyways. I mean, the big thing that they were trying to push was, well, Charlie Kirk knew that, before all this happened, that he was going to get killed in this situation. And really all he said was, well, yeah, this doing this publicly could be the death of me, which is common sense. Steven Crowder said the exact same thing. You don't think that when these people are in the public eye and doing debates with people that disagree with them in every way, that hate everything about them, that there's not a risk of security? Every single time they went to an event, there was a security risk. And even Erica Kirk in her interview confirmed the exact same thing. Every time we went anywhere, there was death threats and everything else that was happening every single time, but we were not afraid. So to see a text message that says that this could be the death of him as some big bombshell is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And the other thing too is that even, once again, if they're real, these are from 2018. At least that's her claim. These are very old text messages. Who cares? These are all pre her being cut off from TPUSA, by the way, now that we know that. And the problem is that she's sharing specific screenshots that she wants us to see, but she's not releasing the entire conversation. So maybe she should show the text messages where Charlie Kirk canceled her from all of her speaking engagements through TPUSA, but she's not going to show that. She's going to show us what she wants us to see. And at the end of the day, that's my biggest problem with these text messages. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Are they fake, real? Do you think any of this even matters, to be honest with you? Or do we really need the dates to conform to her standard of measuring whether a text message is real or faked in general? But with that being said, I thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you guys on the next one.